Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your favorite leather craftsman, RD Muhammad, right here, the Leather Cowboy at Premier Leather Crafters in the Dirty Dirty. Now, I am doing the ultimate sin for any crafter that's out there, and that is watching TV and trying to work too. So I said, well, hey, look, at least I'm in the man cave and I'm trying to get some work done. But if you're like me down south, you know, football is like our therapy down here in the South. Since we don't have an NFL team, you know, it's Alabama or Auburn football, which luckily neither one of them are on TV right now. But I am getting a chance to watch the Texas A&M and the Ole Miss game. And Ole Miss is really putting the whooping on Jimbo Fisher. But anyway, let's get back to this video because I thought, regardless of what's going on the television or in the man cave, I wanted to drop this video because the piece that I am working on today, ladies and gentlemen, this can be extended over to you as well. So this is going to be in that series of small projects that can create you a lot of bank. And this is one of those projects that you can create a niche and a good business from it. So if all of you leather crafters out there who don't particularly know where your wheelhouse is, be it gun holsters, knife sheaths, wallets, belts, dog harnesses, purses, leather sandals, if you don't know and you're still trying to figure your way out, let me show y'all this game right here. Now, I came across this good old tambourine. Tambourine, ladies and gentlemen. Now, when I first got this, it was missing a lot of the zills. So these little things that you see that make a little sound, these are called zills. Z-I-L-L-S. So what I did, since I was missing so many of them, the person who actually had this literally beat the zills off of it. So I'm assuming this came from a church-going person. Being that's the case, and not just regular church going, not just Baptist, I'm talking about Pentecostal, because they be in there beating this thing. You know, if you guys have never had the pleasure of going to a Pentecostal holiness church, you want to take a Sunday and do that, and you will see how they get down with these good old tambourines. But anyway, this tambourine was missing a lot of the zills. So what I did, I wound up going to Amazon and wound up buying a bag of 100. Now listen, this is how many, well, it wasn't that it was missing that many of the zills. When I ordered these, I thought that they were going to be the same size as the existing ones. Now, they was a little bit smaller, not a bad problem, but they was a little smaller. But what I did, instead of originally this tambourine came with 2 zills on each post. So what I did was, since I was going there back and adding more zills to it anyway, I decided to increase the amount of zills. So I put 3 in each section. So each one of these sections, instead of having 4, now has 6. And being that these zills were a little smaller than the original ones, now you have a nice higher pitch from the smaller zills, and I mixed them in with the integration of the larger ones and the small ones. Now, that's just something that I was just testing and trying, and a few of the posts were missing, so we got a little bit creative and went back and found a wire coat hanger. Now, the wire coat hanger, and I used my snips, my good old needle nose, because it has a crimper on the end, and it worked out perfectly, just as I thought it would. So as I was getting ready to cut the wire coat hangers, it created that little shaft point, and I wound up using that to drive deeper into the wood of the tambourine right up under the base zeal. So I was able to do that and secure that in very well. And then I came back with, I actually created a wood putty. And now wood putty is nothing other than sawdust and wood glue. Thanks to my dad. My dad taught me those old tricks when I was growing up. So I took some wood glue and sawdust and packed that in top of the nail holes, or on top of those coat hanger holes. And then I just pack them down in there real good. Now this is going to operate to keep the posts from backing back out again, regardless of however much hallelujah good time they have. It will make it stay in there. Now the harder that putty gets, the more it's going to keep them in there, unless you just got some big hand person that's just going to town. But I wound up making that stick. Now, here's the great part, what I wanted to share with you guys about this, because now I'm going to make this a personalized tambourine piece for somebody. Now, there are a lot of organizations or groups or art and musical artists that use tambourines. Everything from a rock and roll band, jazz band, I mean, just bands, musical artists, period. Not just the church alone. And not just your Hare Krishna people either. You know, the Kumbaya folks. Sorry about that. Bad joke. But not just the musical artists, but these are not just exclusively for the church either. So if you guys want to broaden your horizon, you can get these, personalize them, tool them up real nice and clean, and you can sell them to any band that's out there, or you can take them over to a church group. So I'm sticking with the church theme. And what I did, I'm just going to show you guys a little bit what I'm doing. I'm going to get you started because this is going to be a 2-part video here. So what I did, I wound up turning the tambourine upside down, getting on me a piece of poster board, centered that, and then let me show you guys exactly what we did here. All right. So I turned it upside down, put it on a piece of cardboard, poster board. I centered it, took a pencil and traced around the sides of it. And then I know my exact shape. That's what it's going to be here on the top of the tambourine. Now, I'm going to trim this back just a little bit, probably about a 1/16 of an inch off the edge, because what I'm also going to do is take a strip of leather and go around this way to make it all decorative and match the top piece here. As you can already see, I already have my crisscross line so I can make sure that I get this center. Now, the thing about this tambourine, now it's already covered with lamb skin. Now, so if you come across a tambourine that doesn't have a top on it, or a tam, this right here, you want to cover this with lamb skin, and which you can find those at Tandy. You can find them at basically any leather supply store, Springfield, Weaver. You can find lamb skin anywhere. But this is generally what's covering not just drums, but your tambourines and your I forget those things that your bongos. That's what's all covering that type of material is lambskin. So, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back and cover this with a nice 1 to 1.5 ounce veg tan leather. Now, that 1 to 1.5 is going to be thick enough just for me to do some light cuts and maybe some light tooling, but it's going to be enough to where it's going to be more profound. Now, I believe you can go all the way up to maybe a 2 to 3 ounce if you just really want to do some real good carving and tooling. And I don't think it's going to affect the tambourine itself, because as long as you cover the entire piece, the basic sound comes off of the zeals and not just, you know, that part right there. So it's going to be a deeper sound when you completely cover this, which you can test that by just putting some different types of material over it. All right? So what I did, ladies and gentlemen, I came back and I drew my circles out. And if you guys can see that, I pretty much already have my border. I'm going to come with another. I have a cross stamp that I'm going to tool around the outside edges of this, right in this first inner circle. So, and you guys will see this in the second part of the video. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw my cross here in the center. And then I'm going to come back with, and I showed you guys this in another video, to where you can come back. You want to go ahead and pre-cut you some circles out. This makes drawing your Sheridan design very easy. It makes drawing Sheridan very, very easy. You can go all the way down to even pre-cutting your flowers out. Now, what I'm going to do to keep with that Christian theme, I'm going to do some checking and see if I can find some lily drawings, because I think that it's somewhere maybe it's not even in the Bible. It might just be a saying amongst Christian people, to where the lily of the valley. So I'm going to incorporate I'm going to draw my cross here, and you can see how I'm already presetting. I think you guys can see that I'm presetting my Sheridans here. So my scrolls are going to be intertwined and wrapped around the cross. And then this section here and this section here is going to be those lilies. And I love angel bells. My mother is a big fan of angel bells. I just love the angel bell flowers. So just to tie in with the theme of what I'm putting together, when I do my Sheridan scroll here, it's going to spin off here with an angel, with a lily. And then it's going to spin off down here with some angel bells. And then you're going to see that all wrapped around and encompassed around that cross. So you guys stay tuned for part 2. But on me getting the drawings, I'm going to combine those 2 drawings together. I'm going to put 2 videos together. I'm sorry, where I'm going to completely have this drawn out, as well as how I'm going to wrap the scrolls and the vines around the cross, and then we'll get to transposing that over to the leather. And then toward the end of that second video, I'm trying to get it not so I won't have to do so many videos, but this is going to take place probably over the next week. So I'll be recording videos, and then we'll edit all of this together. But this is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Small projects. You guys can find these anywhere. Use Tambourines. You can go to your music store. Now you can even go online. Now I wouldn't recommend, because when I look this particular tambourine up right here, this tambourine goes for about $60. I didn't even know they got that expensive. Wow. But by the time I get through tooling it and putting I've already completed it by putting all of the zills back on. So I would recommend that you can turn around and do this tambourine for probably about anywhere from $100. I'm gonna say, $100 to $135 on the price tag of these. Now you guys also seen the half moon tambourines. You can cover those as well, even though they're not made to be covered, because they have that half moon shape. Because you can tie a lot of those half moon tambourines into the hi-hat of the drum player. But now you can use them by hand as well. But if you really want to make it their own, I see those working a lot with bands and music artists. And then you can, instead of doing a complete covered piece like this, you can probably put the band's logo, like what I did with the free beer, the group free beer. This would be a perfect piece if I just put a leather dowel a leather circle in here with the free beer logo. And then I could have easily turned around and then sold this for to one of the bands. That way it becomes that personable piece, because it has someone's logo in there. Even if you're sticking with the church thing, you can put the church's name in there. You can stamp that in. You can stamp in the person who owns. You can the tambourine. You can put their initials in. You can put their favorite verse in here. One verse that just come to mind, and that's just from growing up in the church, is "Make a joyful noise." That would be perfect for this. And then you can always come back. You can go so many different ways with this one particular piece. Instead of covering the entire tambourine, You can just lay out a border, a circular border with some type of different graphics and design in it, and then just use the centerpiece to put their initials or the church logo or the band's logo, and then you have that decorative side. So it's kind of broken up. Now, the best part is when you put this together, ladies and gentlemen, you want to put this together with the highest form of contact cement that you guys can find. Now, you guys know that I am a weld wood advocate. You can't beat weld wood. You can get this big old can. Now, I know barges out there. A lot of crafters use barge. A lot of crafters use the EcoFlow leather cement, contact cement. But I am when it comes to contact cement and rubber cement products, there is no better brand than Wellwood. And you can, I don't even think Walmart sells these anymore. They sell the little small cans, but you can get these big cans. And I think I paid $9.47 for this big can of contact cement. I mean, it's a huge can. This is a big can. You guys can see the ounce weight in here. But when I tell you this stuff is the best that I have seen in my over 27 years of crafting, this is the best stuff that I've seen. And if you want an even tighter, stronger bond, before you marry your two pieces together, coat them down. I would say you can put 3 coats on the Wellwood on anything before you marry them together, and you will have a bond for life. All right, this is the Leather Cowboy, ladies and gentlemen, right here at Premier Leather Crafters. I really want to get back to watching the game, but I've already told you guys that I'm going to have this done, the videos and everything ready to roll by next week, so I put myself on a time limit. So I'm going to get back to work, periodically watching the game too, but I'll see you guys on the other side. Peace.